This conference will now be recorded.
And a little bit after 7, or maybe 7:05, you'll do roll call.
Okay.
Is the speaker from PS 149, are you here? If you are here, can you please type in the chat? Jorge, I see you. Welcome. And Jessica, I see you. So you're here. So you're the two speakers. Ifan, are you here? Do you see a gentleman by the name of Ifan here?
No, I don't.
Edwin, do you see your Edwin? Do you see your restaurants here?
Let me look.
Or is Clara going to call them? We just want to make sure everyone that's in the building.
I see one. I see an evolution here. That's about it.
And I don't, okay, Evolution, you see here? Okay. Hello, Hyro, you look well.
There we go. Oh, there we go.
I think you could put yourself on mute. I just wanted to confirm you were here, Evolution.
Oh, okay. No, they just wanted to confirm that we're here.
So we'll put them on mute right now. Let's see.
Please.
Right. Hello, everyone. Board members, you should have all of the material for the meeting in your folder. You received that by email from the office. So please look for your agenda and all the material for the meeting.
So we're waiting for Johanna from the Beacon program. She's coming in.
Okay, great. And we'll start, Kevin, at 7:05. Is that fair?
I'm counting the minutes.
Wonderful.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Johanna, how are you?
Good, good.
You from the Beacon School?
Yes, I am from the Beacon program at PS 149.
All right, so we'll start in about 5 minutes. So I'll
Okay,
call.
perfect.
Espera, ya voy.
Can you please put yourself on mute?
Finish, and I'm coming in 2 minutes. Wait.
Okay. Okay. I think, is that one of your restaurants, Edmund?
I believe that was one of them, yes.
Okay. Which one is that?
I think that's Vibra's.
Okay. What about 104 Entertainment?
Don't see anything.
Okay. Hello, everyone. As you come into the meeting, can you please put yourself on mute? As we'll have a number of speakers tonight, and we do not want to interrupt the speakers with any background noise. So welcome, everyone. My name is Renetta English. I'm chairperson of Queens Community Board Number 3. Queens Community Board Number 3 covers East Elmhurst, Jackson Heights, and North Corona. And I welcome you to our January meeting.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year to all. And it's lovely to see so many of our board members here tonight. And I see our numbers are jumping up here. So folks are coming on in, and I'm so happy and excited that they are here. And again, welcome to 2021. I'd like to bring on our secretary, Mr. Kevin Hughes Naboa, who will do our initial roll call for the meeting. Kevin,
Yep, I'm just putting my earpiece in and then we will start.
thank you.
Okay. Just give it one more minute till 7:05 and then we'll go.
All right, as mentioned before, anyone that comes into the room, can you please put yourself on mute?
Their own sort of negotiated rules about how discipline would be conveyed and processed and what those consequences.
Okay, it's 7:05. All right, board members, please be ready. You know where you are in the roll call, so please be ready to unmute to say here when I call your name. Kamblata. Ann Brown.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am here. Come back.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Blada. Ann, was that you that piped in?
Yes.
All right, gotcha, Ann. Elba Buendia. Mark Burmester.
I'm here.
Mr. Chowdhury.
I'm here.
Heiko Corneliuson. Shiv Das. Sonny Davis Roberts. Vivian Dock. Oh, I have to unmute Vivian, but Vivian Dock.
Here.
Thank you. All right. Margaret Dossier.
Here.
Renetta English.
Here.
Mr. Gandhi. Mr. Gideon.
Here.
Pastor Peter Haran.
Here.
Lorinda Hooks.
Here.
Mr. Hollader. Kevin Hughes Naboa, that's me, I'm here. Joyce Julian.
Here.
I see you, Miss Joyce Julian.
I'm here.
I see ya.
Oh, okay.
Edward Kiernan. Stephen Kohenik.
Here.
Marta Leberton.
Here.
Carlos Andre Lopez. Lisa Masulam.
Here.
Ralph Moreno. Richard Mullings.
Here.
Laverne Nimmons.
Here.
Veronica Ing. Nulo Doherty.
Here.
Philip Pappas. Esteban Peralta. Ladisla Perez. Dorothy Phelan. Megan Rockwell.
Here.
Pastor Rodriguez. Pasta. Jairo Rodriguez.
Here.
Nancy Romero.
Present.
Tammy Rose.
Here.
Edmund Rosenbaum.
Here.
David Rosero.
David is here. Heiko just joined.
Okay, let me just go up there and update
Hi.
that. Hi, Heiko, and I got David. Lobsang Salaka.
Present.
Jimmy Smith. Marlene Tapper.
Abdul Rahim just joined.
Frank Taylor.
Here.
Arthur Tyler.
I wonder if you can hear me. I'm having a little trouble with my
I can hear
connection.
you, Arthur. I got you,
All right,
Arthur. I can hear
I'm
you.
gonna boot off and come right back in.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
All right. Chanel Thomas Henry.
Here.
Hamlet Wallace.
Here.
Roy Washington Simon.
Here.
Edwin Wesley. Edwin Wesley.
And did you get Mr.
Okay, wait. Hold on. Elba, are you here? Is that you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, I'm going to mark you here, Elba, okay?
No, is that Elba Buendia? I think that's another Elba.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Well, let me go back and call the people that are that were not here for the first call. Elba Buendia. All right. Shiv Das. Tony Davis Roberts. Mr. Gandhi. You said Mr. Hollader. Is that you, Mr. Hollader?
Yes, I just joined. Yeah.
All right, gotcha. Edward Kiernan. Carlos Andre Lopez. Ralph Moreno. Veronica Ng. Philip Pappas. Esteban Peralta. Ladisla Perez. Dorothy Phelan, I see you, Dorothy. Fausto Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Bianco, you have to put yourself on mute.
Jimmy Smith. Marlene Tapper. Edwin Wesley. Okay. I see Shiv Das. He's here. Shiv, can you hear us?
Elba's here.
Elba Buendia?
Yes, Elba Salamanca.
Okay.
Wait, there's somebody else that's count. Elba, which one? Where are you? Can you just say your name again? Because I don't see you.
Elba Salamanca.
No, you're not Elba. We're looking for Elba Buendia.
I'm next to you.
Oh, I see you. Elba,
Okay, great. We have two Elbas tonight. All right, let me mark Elba.
and Elba, can you put yourself on mute? Mr. Das just left, Ms. Reed. He got kicked out.
Okay, so maybe he'll log back in. Okay.
We're up to 83 participants. This is very exciting, everyone. We're opening up the new year quite
All
well.
right. Well, we have a quorum, so we can begin.
Wonderful. So welcome again, everyone. My name is Renetta English. I'm chair of Queens Community Board number 3. And our agenda for our meeting has been posted on Twitter, Facebook, and on our website. So if you would like to go down as we go through the meeting, please open up your agenda. Board members, in your folder, you have your agenda and all the other items for your meeting. So please refer to them as we go through the agenda. So first, I'd like to bring up I believe our Assemblywoman is here, Ms. Gonzalez Rojas.
Hi there.
How are you? Welcome. We welcome you. Would you like to say a few words?
Oh, yes, thank you so much. Happy New Year, everyone. It's so good to greet you all. I see so many familiar faces or names, at least on the screens. I have just a few announcements to make. I am the new representative. My name is Jessica Gonzalez Rojas. She, her, ella pronouns. I'm representing the 34th Assembly District, which includes the neighborhoods of Jackson Heights, East Elmhurst, Corona, and Woodside. We are currently using the former Assembly member's office. We're looking for new space, but in the meantime, our phones are working, our emails are up and running. We've been assisting constituents, and we're happy to, welcome folks or assist with any issues that our community members are facing. My chief of staff, Brian Romero, is on. My district director, Melina Grisales, is on. They'll chat in the chat our office address, our email, and our phone number, so you can call us. We're avoiding in-person appointments unless there's circumstances that require you to come in person. We're trying to do everything over the phone or Zoom, but please call us and we could help determine next steps in whatever casework you need. I want to share what committees I've been assigned to in the State Assembly. I'm on Children and Families. I'm on the Committee on Cities. I'm on the Committee for Environmental Conservation, the Committee for Social Services, and most excitingly, the Committee on Corporations, Authorities, and Commissions. And this is very important for our community board, for our community, because it oversees the MTA, which it's certainly a critical issue that many of us are dealing with in terms of the trains and the bus service here in Queens and in our district. So I'm excited to be a vocal advocate and ensuring that all our communities have the transportation access that they need. A few other quick announcements. We are working with the Borough President's office in identifying testing sites for COVID-19. We have access to a mobile van, so we're in the process of setting up. There's lots of restrictions around where we can go, so we're finding looking for the best locations around the entire district. So more to come there. We have hardship forms available specifically for those facing foreclosure and evictions, and we passed a law right before I began, but that you can't be evicted at least until May 1st, 2021. So the form must be filled out and submitted, and our office can assist with that. There's also a COVID rent relief extension program whose deadline is February 1st. So that provides eligible households with a one-time rental subsidy that will be sent directly to the household landlords. There's also the Paycheck Protection Program that will resume, and we have until March 31st to secure a loan. And the Fall 2020 School Experience Survey is now out, and we're asking constituents to make sure that they fill it out to provide feedback on, and the Department of Education on remote learning. I'm also a parent in the district, so and many of us are, so we want to make sure we provide feedback. I signed a letter. Well, this is a little, we now have a new president, but I joined many assembly members in calling for the removal of Trump. And I also signed a letter with other members, including food service workers in the phase 1B of the vaccination program. I recently held a virtual speak out against the attacks on the Capitol that happened and against white supremacy. And we were joined by assembly members and senators. And we're planning out a series of virtual events so we can continue to engage the community in dialogue. And I'll continue to keep the community board abreast of any activities and actions that we're planning in the days ahead. So I really look forward to working with everybody, and excited and humbled to be your representative.
And we look forward to working with you, and we wish you all the best as you in your administration. Thank you for coming. All right, so I'd like to open up for our next speaker, PS 149, the Beacon Program.
Hello, hi, thank you for having us.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Sorry, hi. My name is Dominique Fizeme. I'm the program director for Beacon 149. Unfortunately, my camera, for some reason, is not turning on. So I wanted to introduce you to Johanna Santana, who's our assistant director, and her camera is fully functional. So I'm going to be posting some information on how to reach us in the chat, and Johanna's just going to talk a little bit about Queens Community House and the services that we offer at Beacon 149.
Thank you.
Yes. So, Queens Community House is a multi-site, multi-service settlement house that serves the diverse neighborhoods of Queens. We serve residents of all ages, races, faiths, and ethnicities while supporting the um, vitality of the borough as a whole. We offer a broad network of comprehensive services at our 32 sites in 14 different neighborhoods in Queens, and it allows us to impact individuals, families, and entire communities. Our Beacon program at PS 149 is a school-based community and youth development program based out of PS 149, which is located on 34th Avenue and 93rd Street. We offer after-school programs. We offer tutoring services for 3rd to 5th graders. We have a variety of evening programs right now. We're offering a cooking club for all ages, a comic book club for all ages, and a young adult to adult book club on Saturdays. We are planning on having some outdoor in-person activities as the weather gets nicer, but we're still working out the details with that. Our staff were all trained in positive youth development framework, and we build a family-friendly and community-focused culture in all of our programs with all of our participants of all ages. We focus on a holistic approach that centers our social, emotional, cognitive, and physical growth. We have been offering our remote after-school program since September, and it's been going pretty well. We have some pretty consistent faces joining us, and we're just really excited to be able to offer this to the rest of our community. Like Dominique said, if you guys have any questions or would like to reach out to us, our information is in the chat. You are welcome to send us an email or give us a call at our cell phone, and we'll be more than happy to speak with you.
All right, thank you so much. And your information is in the chat. So everyone, please look in the chat and you can get information about the program.
Thank you very much.
Richard Mullings, you have to put yourself on mute. All right, so we'll have our first speaker, and I'm so excited that he's here, Dr. Jorge Solar, sorry, you'll correct me, I know. And he's come from Project Achieve, and he's also going to talk about COVID-19. And Dr. Jorge, I'm going to give you presentation ability, so let me just find your name.
Great, thank you.
All righty, and welcome, and thank you again for coming. Okay, did you see a pop-up on your screen to be a presenter?
Let me see, it's saying GoToMeeting needs to use accessibility features.
Okay.
Open system preferences, okay.
Should have said, let me try it again. Maybe try to just make you a presenter. Let's see what happens. Because you have the ability, but I'll take it back. I see you're in here twice. Hello?
Okay, yeah, I'm back. It said I had to, I gave the app permission, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had me restart. So maybe try sharing or giving me permission again.
Okay, I'll do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You should see a pop-up on your screen, do you?
Yes, I'm getting a similar message. GoToMeeting would like to record this computer screen, grant access.
Okay.
Okay, let me...
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Can you email me your presentation and then I'll put it on the screen and then you'll tell me when to go from slide to slide. Is that doable?
Yes.
Alrighty. And I think I'm gonna send it over to you also, Kevin. All right, Kevin?
Okay, yeah, I can run it from here if you
Okay,
want.
so I'm forward the email to you. Did you
Do you
send
mind-
it?
Do you mind trying one more time in terms
Okay,
of,
no problem, no problem.
hopefully I'm done giving all of the permissions so I can actually share the screen.
Okay. What about now? Put you on mute, okay?
Yes, okay, no.
Okay, I'm gonna send it in the meantime.
All right, and Kevin is going to, as you want to go through the various slides, Kevin's going to walk you through, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You know what I'll have you do? I'm going to send you Kevin's email address for you to send it directly to him. Is that fair?
Yes, thanks.
And confirm you got my email. You got it?
I got it.
Yeah, so now send him, that's his email, K Hughes, and just forward him your presentation.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna send it.
Welcome, everybody. Folks are still coming in. That's good. We're up to 92 individuals from the community. Hello. All righty. Did you email it to him yet?
It may take a minute because it's a presentation, so it's not
Yeah,
gonna
so
go yet.
it says it has to like upload via Google Drive, but it looks like it'll take 20 seconds, going pretty quickly.
Okay, very good.
It's giving me like a percentage upload. It's like at 50% now.
Okay.
So, a contact list, I believe.
Richard, can you please put yourself on mute?
I got it.
All right, you got it? Okay, so Kev, you want to open up your screen?
No, I meant I muted Richard. I'm still waiting for the presentation to come through.
All right, so I'm going to put you on mute. Anyone, if you are, we're going to just a little technical.
Okay, it just went out.
Okay, so Kevin.
I sent it from my Gmail account.
Okay, and you sent it to K Hughes, correct?
Yes.
All right, very.
All right, I got it. Give me a second to download it.
All right, good. Thank you. And you'll just let Kevin know when to go from slide to slide. Is that fair?
Yeah. There's a few animations, but I'll instruct Kevin through it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to make you a presenter, or are you going to make yourself the presenter, Kevin?
I'll make myself the presenter.
Okay, very good.
Give me a second.
Talk, just introduce yourself, talk a little bit, or is that all in the presentation, Dr. Jorge?
It's in the presentation, but sure, I can start, no problem. So first, I just want to thank you, Renata, for inviting me to this meeting. I'm here representing Project Achieve, and so I'll talk a bit about Project Achieve in the presentation as well, some of our history and background. So my name is Jorge Soler. I'm also joined here by two of our research recruitment specialists, Christina Barron and Ariadne Chavez.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
They're two of our newest team members to join the Project Achieve community engagement and recruitment team. So I thought it'd be great for them to be here. And also they've been doing some of this outreach out in the communities with me. So in case there's questions that they can answer, I wanted to invite them along here as well.
We saw the presentation, Kevin. It just went off.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I had to move some stuff around on my screen. Just give me 1 second. It's having a few technical difficulties here.
So in terms of, just to give folks an idea of our organizational structure, so Project Achieve, that's our name in the community. And if you go to our website, it's Project Achieve. In-house, within our larger organization, we're the Laboratory of Infectious Disease Prevention, and we're one of 8 or so labs in the New York Blood Center. So the New York Blood Center deals primarily with blood donation services. And so within the New York Blood Center, there's a research institute called the Lindsley F. Kimball Research Institute that consists of 8 labs, and Project Achieve is one of those 8 labs. What makes us unique and different from the other labs is that the other labs do bench science research. In other words, they're in the laboratory doing research on bloodborne diseases. Our research is unique in that we do research with people, with human participants. And so with that comes a really important component of our work, and that's our community engagement and recruitment efforts out in the community. Which has really dramatically changed in the last year since pandemic started. So I'll go into some of that as well. So next slide. Again, this just kind of gives an overview of our organizational structure. We're Project Achieve. In-house with the Laboratory of Infectious Disease Prevention within the Research Institute that's within the New York Blood Center. Next slide. Oh, and we're also active on social media, so feel free to follow us. Our website is projectachieve.org, and you can also follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter. Next slide. So just a little bit of history about us. Actually, let me keep track of time also to be mindful of that. So Project Achieve was founded in 1993, and originally our goal was to find ways to effectively find ways to prevent HIV infection. And to that end, we collaborate with researchers and research sites across the US, but also globally. You can click the next button. So in terms of our research, so historically we are an HIV prevention research organization, but because of our history doing HIV prevention work and vaccine research specifically, our site was invited to participate in the phase 3 COVID vaccine studies. And so now we're an agency that does HIV research, but also COVID-19 research. And we do research that's biomedical, behavioral, and also social science research. And while we primarily focus on prevention, how to prevent these diseases, we also focus on treatment. So we have a couple of studies, for example, that are focused on people living with HIV, and focusing on like their social context and neighborhoods and how that impacts their access to HIV care. And so part of the work that we do is also education. We provide up-to-date and science-based information across multiple topics, issues, and innovations. And this is really key for us because we know that everyone's receiving lots of information from different places. So we really want to establish ourselves as a trusted source of information. And so the other part of our education is also building awareness, acceptance, and support of research and related interventions. And what that really alludes to is also addressing some of the concerns that community has around research and and historically the past offenses and abuse of communities of color, in particular by public health and medical institutions. That's something we're aware of and something that's always part of the way we engage communities and when we talk about education and awareness. Next section. And so to this end, we offer tailored programs for key populations. We are aware that HIV impacts specific populations, specifically gay men, communities of color, young people. And so we have programming that caters to those populations. In order to do this, what we have done over the years is develop partnerships with organizations representing a broad range of communities. And because we've been doing this work since 1993, in many ways, communities see us as an organization that's actually an advocate for community and that represents the community. Next slide. So to give you an idea of kind of our locations. So again, in the past year, we've grown dramatically. When I joined Project Achieve in September of 2019, when it was one location and it was about 12 people in the lab, we're now at 4 locations and there's about 40 people in the lab. So we've grown a ton since we started doing COVID research. But our main site is on the Upper East Side and 67th Street. And then we also now have a satellite site that's in Chelsea on 17th Street. And then, oh, you can click through. There's going to be some circles that pop up, by the way. And you can click 2 more times. Thank you. And so we have the satellite site in Chelsea. And then we have a medical van that we station 3 times a week in Queens, specifically in Jackson Heights on 37th Ave. And we station it twice a week in Brooklyn, in East Flatbush. Next slide. And so why is outreach important? A motto that we really use to frame the work that we do is, if it is inaccessible to the poor, it is neither radical nor revolutionary. And I really appreciate this quote because it's, we constantly innovate, we come up with new interventions, whether it's technology or a health intervention or a program or a policy. And these things are great, but if they're not accessible, then they're not useful, right? So next click, please. And so in terms of how that quote translates into the work that we do, I always say that getting to a vaccine is only half the goal. The other half is getting people to want it, right? So what good is an innovation if nobody wants it? And really what I'm alluding to here, when I talk about things that are inaccessible, they're inaccessible because maybe the campaigns around those innovations haven't been great, so people don't have awareness or they don't have knowledge about it. Also just availability in terms of supply and cost. We see that over and over whenever we have new innovations. And also the big one is trust, right? If people don't trust this innovation, don't trust where it's coming from, people aren't going to want it. And so this is a really critical. It's really critical for us to be aware of this because it really shapes the way our purpose for being in community, being on the ground, and being accessible to people and answering their questions around the research that we do. And it's so critical, especially for clinical studies, that people who participate in the studies, that they represent diverse communities, particularly because it's usually communities, marginalized populations that are being disproportionately impacted by some of these health issues and diseases. And so what this means is meeting people where they're at. And so when we do outreach, we're keeping in mind, obviously, to avoid judgment, avoid making assumptions about people and their circumstances, really critical to listen and to be present. And so we feel lucky because with these new sites, with this COVID research, it's been a way to also be out in community again and on the ground. And so a lot of what we do is informed, again, through listening and talking to community members. A lot of what we do is also informed by research and data. So this, for example, comes from the New York City Department of Health. So on the left, you have a map that shows you the percent of people who are testing positive for COVID, with the darker spots representing higher percentage of people who are positive. And so we use this to also guide, to guide where we are going to invest our efforts, where we need to do more outreach, where we need to do offer more services and information and education. So that's an important guide. And then on the right, it's basically showing, since since end of October, we also see that cases have been increasing again. And so we're very aware of that. And again, the need to double down on our efforts to be in the community and offer education and resources. And, we're definitely in a better place than we were, when the pandemic first hit us back in April. So although in terms of new cases, we're actually almost at the same amount of cases we were at back in April when the pandemic first hit us. But in parts because we have more testing. But what it is different is we're not experiencing nearly as many deaths as we were back in April. Currently, we're experiencing about 60 deaths per day related to COVID. Back at the height of our pandemic here last year in April, unfortunately, we were really devastated by that first week of April. For a full week, we were experiencing about 800 deaths per day, right? So we're not there yet, and in part because it's been our local public health response, and our ability to wear masks and to social distance that we're in a better place now, but still remaining to be vigilant because cases still are increasing. Next slide. And so I wanted to give you an overview of what our outreach activities look like. So our team is called the Community Engagement and Recruitment Team because we do engagement and recruitment. And they overlap, and in some ways they're different. In some ways they overlap frequently. So when it comes to recruitment, it's really, that revolves around enrolling people into our studies. At the end of the day, our mission is to have research studies with populations that represent the community. And so that means it is, to an extent, a numbers game, right? In order to complete the studies, we have to reach enrollment targets so we can actually see if what we're looking at is effective or not. And so, we might do recruitment by posting maybe a recruitment ad on social media, on Craigslist and different places. And that's really kind of minimal engagement. But more often we're doing engagement and recruitment at the same time. Or we're doing recruitment, but we're pairing it with some kind of community event. Or some kind of activity or education session. So I'm going to give an example of a couple of those. So some of these are pre-pandemic because you'll see pictures that there were events where we were gathering in person. So this was an event where we called, it was an influencer panel event where we had people who had high followings on social media. And so there was 3 people, here are 2 of them. So 66 Poppy is a social media influencer. Very popular in LGBTQ spaces, as is Damon Jacobs. Damon Jacobs actually used to be a community engagement, a recruitment specialist for Project Achieve years ago. And so he's done a lot of really great work around raising awareness around PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis, to prevent HIV infection. So we created an influencer panel and really used their stage to draw more people in. So you can click on the next. And so we had an event, this was at Brooklyn Academy of Music, where we had the panel and then we invited people to come listen to them. And so you can't see it here, but in the back we had food, we had drinks, and it was a community event where people could come, relax, feel welcome, but also learn something, right? And so although there was, of course, discussion around HIV, PrEP, HIV prevention, we also just talked about things that were, relevant to communities of color, kind of health issues broadly that were important to people in their communities. Next slide. Another event that we had was the LGBTQ Valentine's speed dating event. So here we collaborated. If you look at the bottom, you see the different organizations that we collaborated with. So we had a speed dating event for LGBTQ people. Like Martin was kind of the theme to it. So you can click on the next picture. And so this was the setup. This was the setup where we had tables and people basically rotated and were able to go kind of on a speed dating, like a minute or 2 kind of moment to talk to each other. Because it was like Martin theme, we had like these 2 drinks that we called Gina and Pam. And so again, this was an opportunity to create a space where LGBTQ people could socialize comfortably with each other, especially around something kind of like that has to do with kind of dating and sexuality and sex. But we also had, you can't see here, like there was a little kind of lounge area, whereas people were waiting, we also had an MC who would talk to folks about kind of, get their ideas about what is sexual health, what is HIV prevention. And really the idea is to create a space where people feel comfortable talking about those things. Next slide. And so this brings us to, so I think what brought me here today was this mobile unit. So when we started doing the COVID studies, we're part of a research network called the Coronavirus Prevention Network, and they were able to provide us a medical bus that we could station out in the community 5 days a week. And so this was an important opportunity for the community engagement and recruitment team to basically use that space around that van to conduct our outreach. And so anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week, the CER team, we go to the van and we set up a tent and a table as you see there. We have what we call swag, just little items that we give away. But it's a really important opportunity to engage with people as they're walking by and to really make ourselves accessible and give folks access to people who are doing this research, who have the expertise. And so we set up ourselves outside. And then this van, that's where we do our study visits. So for people who are actually in the research study, they can come to the van for their study visits. And so participating in one of these studies is actually a 2-year process. For the vaccine studies, for example, like the first 1 or 2 visits might be getting the injection. And then there's about 6 or 7 follow-up visits that happen over the course of 2 years. And so we have this van there where people can come and complete their study visits in the van. And so again, that really removes the barrier of access in terms of traveling to Manhattan for folks who live out in Brooklyn and in Queens. It's also a public health measure, so people don't have to take the train, like public transportation, to reach us. And it's just convenient. And it's given this opportunity also to collaborate with local businesses and kind of giving back in that way. So this location actually is the one in Jackson Heights. And so right here, we're parked in front of a Colombian bakery called Sabrosura. And because we constantly park there, one issue with having a van is that we don't have a waiting room, right? Like you usually would in the building. So when somebody has an injection visit, for example, they're there for about 3 hours, and an hour and a half of that is like waiting for the vaccine, for the injection to come from the pharmacy. Or also if somebody's coming for a visit and they're kind of having to wait for their appointment, for the one in front of them to finish, they might have to wait outside. So to avoid that, what we did was we actually got gift cards from the Sabrosura bakery that we could give people, like a $10 gift card. So if they were waiting, whether it was for the injection or waiting for their appointment, we could give them this $10 gift card. They can go into business and just grab a quick bite, like a coffee and like an empanada or something to eat while they waited. Especially like as the weather was getting colder. So, we find these ways to do our outreach, but also to support local business in the area. So actually, if we can take a minute. Oh yeah, so most recently, our work actually was picked up by the Associated Press. So the headline here is Mobile Labs Take Vaccine Studies to Diverse Neighborhoods. So they got wind of the work that we were doing and the importance of really being on the ground in the communities in order to support this work. So they had an article that they wrote about us. So that's in the picture in the middle is actually Bree, one of our clinicians who's with a study participant. On the right, that's Christina Barron, who's on the call right now, talking to a community member about the work that we do. And we'll see if this works. If you click on that link, it should take us to a YouTube video that's about 1.5 minutes that covers this story. And if it doesn't work, I can just put it in the chat later.
You can just put it in the chat later and just
Okay.
go.
Sure, no problem. Okay, next slide. Thanks. So this last part, I just wanted to go over because it's so amazing that we can be in the community because we can also hear firsthand what people's kind of fears are, their frustrations, their concerns. So over time, we get an idea of what are the most common questions, and that really shapes us then the next steps for us. Okay, what kind of educational material activities do we need to create in order to address those questions and concerns that people have? So I wanted to run by you some of those common questions that we hear both in Queens and in Brooklyn. So the first one is, can vaccines cause SARS-CoV-2 infection or cause COVID-19 illness? Next. So actually, I'll also say real quick, in terms of, for the most part, we use COVID-19 as a way to talk about this disease. But also it's also good to be aware that there's a difference between SARS-CoV-2 and COVID-19. So SARS-CoV-2 refers to the virus and COVID-19 refers to the illness. Because I've done HIV prevention work for a while, it's kind of parallel to HIV and AIDS, right? HIV is the disease and AIDS is the illness, or kind of the collection of symptoms that define the disease. So I just wanted to clarify that. But next slide. So can vaccines cause SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-19 illness? And you can click through this. So the answer is no. And we can be absolutely sure because of the following. I'll explain it really quick. Next click, please. So if I show you, for example, this wheel, this handlebar, and this chain, what comes to mind? What is it that I'm showing you? Anyone can shout it out. A bicycle, right? Next click. But we know that even though we see the parts of the bicycle, we recognize it as a bicycle, but we can't actually ride it, right? Just with those pieces. Vaccines work the same way. What they do is they show a piece of the virus, or actually a copy of the piece of the virus. And so the body will recognize it as something foreign. But because it's only a piece of the virus, that piece can never cause illness. And so that's how we're sure the vaccines actually can't cause somebody to become infected or to become sick due to infection. Next slide. How do we know that vaccines are safe? That's a common and a really important question. So next slide. And you can click twice through this just to get the whole image on the screen. Thank you. So for clinical studies, there's 3 phases. There's phase 1, and that phase 1 we're usually recruiting about 100 people for that phase. And the main goal of that phase is just to test that the vaccine is safe, right? That people aren't having severe reactions to it. In phase 2, we're recruiting about 1,000 people. And here we're starting to figure out the dosing of the vaccine. What's the best dose? Should the person be injected once or twice? How far apart should those injections be? How much of the vaccine should they get with each dose? Those kinds of things are explored in phase 2. And once we see that there is some kind of immune response and that we see continued safety, then we move to phase 3. And so phase 3, that's the big question, is does this product prevent infections or help reduce the severity of disease? So oftentimes we think about just like prevention as the goal, but even if we don't prevent infection, if we can prevent severe disease, that can also be a really important goal for this research. And so in phase 3, that's when you get to the really big studies where you're recruiting anywhere from 40,000 to 60,000 participants globally. And so these are some of the studies that you hear everyone talking about right now. Pfizer, Moderna. Our particular lab is involved with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine study and the AstraZeneca vaccine study. And so these are the phase 3 studies that where we were actually answering the question, does the vaccine prevent infection? And so, you know, it's important to remember that by the time, if we see that a vaccine works and then we have emergency use authorization to use in the with the public, you know, people have concerns. Well, I'm going to kind of wait and see to see how this first group of people do with the vaccine. But in reality, because we've gone through phase 1, 2, and 3, there's already been at least 20,000 people that have received that same exact vaccine in the study. So we actually have a lot of information by the time we get to phase 3 and by the time we get to the public about any side effects or concerns that people have. Next slide. When can I get the vaccine and how do I sign up? So next slide. So if you want more information, the Department of Health has a really good website, really great website you can check out, and you can just Google NYC Department of Health or DOH COVID. Or if you want, even right now, you can scan that QR code, and that'll actually take you to the Department of Health website. And there you can find information about vaccines in terms of kind of explaining how they work, any common side effects that people have. It'll also show you the different phases in terms of you know, how the city is prioritizing who gets the vaccines first. So you can find information about that. It doesn't give a timeline because that all depends on like the supply. You can also look up data if you're curious. Even at the zip code level, you can see kind of what the seropositivity rate is in your particular zip code. So it actually has quite a bit of information, and it has also a vaccine like a locator, a finder where you can see sites around the city that are vaccinated. You can sign up and kind of wait until you fall into that priority group. Next slide.
And Jose, you have about 2 more minutes.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think it's like 2 more slides.
Sorry, Jorge.
No worries. And so how much of the vaccine, so these are just other common questions. How much does the vaccine cost? Right now, it doesn't cost anything. In some cases, I think the health insurance is being charged. Should I get vaccinated if I was already infected before? Right now, it's encouraged that if people fall into a priority group and you have access, everyone is encouraged to get vaccinated, regardless of this particular issue, if you've been infected before or not. If I'm infected, can I stop using a mask and stop using social distancing? Right now, we tell folks that you shouldn't stop using a mask and shouldn't stop social distancing, only because even if the vaccine prevents infection or illness, what we don't know yet is the extent to which people can still carry the virus and transmit the virus. And what are the side effects? So next slide. It doesn't matter if I get Pfizer or Moderna. So you can go to the next slide for that. So yeah, so really both vaccines are equally effective, so that shouldn't be a concern for folks. They're both 2 injections spaced out about a month apart, and common side effects include tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, chills, and joint pain. Next slide. And this is the last slide. This is just to mention in terms of what's next for us, we're going to continue doing HIV prevention research, COVID prevention research. These are actually the websites for our screeners. So if people are interested in screening to see if they qualify to be in a study, they can go there. And for us, it's really now continuing with our studies and continuing to learn more about these viruses. Next slide. And that's it. And I just want to thank Dr. Hong Van Tu, who's the head of the lab, the Coronavirus Prevention Network for giving us the van that we're using out in the community, our Project Achieve CER team, and also the residents of Queens and Brooklyn for their questions, for their insight, and for engaging with us as we during our time out in the communities. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for Dr. Solar? We could take at least 2 questions because we have a packed agenda today. Any questions? Okay.
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yes, hello, Doc. I've actually read about your program. It is really a good program, I believe. My question is, how do I get you over to East Elmhurst or Corona, 2 of the other areas that were highly infected with this coronavirus, with your mobile van there?
Yeah, so right now, I'm jotting down those 2 locations. Yeah, so right now we're pretty mobile in terms of we already collaborate with organizations throughout the city. So we frequently go to different neighborhoods, different parts of the city to do outreach. Obviously, when the weather is better, it's easier for us to set up outside. In terms of the vans themselves, though, those have to remain at those locations just because we do have study participant appointments there. And so the participants need to be able to go back to the same place to reach their appointments. But even though the vans are stationed in those 2 locations, the CER team is still free to travel to different areas to set up a table where it's appropriate, and also to collaborate. Oftentimes, we also collaborate with a local organization in that area, also that is already, they already know their community, and we can, they can support us, and we can support them in whatever activity or collaboration.
All right.
Well, it would be great if you could get to East Elmhurst. It would be wonderful. Yeah. We were part of the pandemic. We were an epicenter.
Yes, definitely. Same thing with Jackson Heights, Corona, just this general Queens area would be excellent.
All right, thank you. So we have 1 more question.
Agreed. It would be excellent.
All right, thank you. 1 more question. All right, Dr. Solar. No other questions, but I really appreciate you. Thank you for your wonderful presentation. Have a great night.
Thank you for having us. Thanks.
All right. Jessica from the mayor's office.
Hi, good evening. So I'm gonna just speak to a more, I guess, broader, higher level overview of what's going on with the vaccine distribution. So the city's been picking up vaccination pace very quickly. For context, last week we had administered 220,000 vaccines in that week. The week before we had administered 100,000 vaccines, and we did have the capacity at the beginning of this week to administer 300,000 vaccines, but we're just not getting enough doses from the federal government and the manufacturers at this time. So as part of the infrastructure that we've been building out, we've built out large-scale vaccination centers that will operate 24 hours, 7 days a week including the widely announced City Field site that was expected to open next week. But however, again, without a resupply of doses from the federal government, the city is going to have to begin closing vaccination sites, and they did start doing so today. But the mayor has been advocating for the federal government to invoke the Defense Production Act, and the administration remains optimistic that with the change in administration in DC, that we will see an increase in production of the vaccine to more rapidly keep up with the expanded infrastructure for distribution. So with the expanded categories that were announced by the state and by the CDC, older New Yorkers who are age 65 and older qualified to be vaccinated. And so the city had created a program where if folks are over 60 or 65 and older make an appointment for a vaccine at a city operated site, they'll be asked if they have a way to get to and from the appointment, and if they do not, they'll be directed to transportation options, including Access-a-Ride, cab service via curb, and transportation by select senior center programs will be coming on board as well. The city's been focusing on opening vaccination sites in NYCHA developments to provide on-site vaccinations for residents 65 or older, with a lens towards addressing the most vulnerable populations that have been most largely impacted by this pandemic. So the clinics that opened over the last weekend were in Brooklyn, Staten Island, and Manhattan, but the plans are to move to different sites across the city in the coming weeks. So we have had to start canceling appointments. As I said, we've had to close some sites, but yesterday we had vaccinated 45,000 New Yorkers. So we are moving into a pace of being able to vaccinate 50,000 New Yorkers a day. So at this time, anybody who had a first dose appointment may have had their appointments canceled, but second dose appointments are not being canceled at this time. So just for everyone's note, to just take down the 877-VAX4-NYC phone number, that's 877-829-4692, or visiting vaccinefinder.nyc.gov. And again, as the supply issue is addressed by the federal government, we expect that the infrastructure we've built out and the increased capacity that we've built out will be keeping up with getting us vaccinated at a really good pace. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I will take 2 questions from Jessica. Frank, you already went already. Let's just see if anyone else has an opportunity to talk. Anyone else? Okay, Anne, anybody else that would like to say something? Okay, I don't see any hands.
I have a question, Renetta.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Renetta.
Anne, okay, Anne.
I have a question. If somebody's already answered it and you can know the answer, Jessica, please let me know. Because my concern is with the vaccine, how valuable is that vaccine? Because I want to know if you're setting up all these sites, who's providing the proper refrigeration at these sites to keep this at the proper temperature?
So that was
if I go to City Field, is there a refrigeration that you guys have or somebody has provided to keep this Pfizer below whatever degrees, or the Moderna below a certain degrees before I get it and it's been sitting out for hours?
Yeah, it's a valid concern that the city was, working on before the vaccinations were approved formally. When we knew that the temperatures were an issue, that infrastructure was built out, we made sure we had the refrigeration. And just for context, thinking about our homebound constituents, the city is working with the Department for the Aging to see, considering the temperature requirements, how can we take vaccinations out of that refrigeration to homebound constituents and making sure that we are not spoiling the dosage. So that program is still being worked out, but there's absolutely that concentration of how do we make sure that we keep the right temperature, 100%.
All right, so followed by Joyce, Julian, you'll go, then Mr. Chowdhury. And if anybody else has any other questions for Jessica, please type it in the chat. She will be in the meeting and she'll take down information or, respond via the chat. Go ahead, Joyce, and then Mr. Chowdhury, because we have a lot of things on the agenda tonight.
My question is that a lot of people are on medication. Has anyone bothered to find out if the vaccine would conflict with whatever medication people are on?
As far as I know, so far, there hasn't been anything like that. There have been a few concerns with allergies, but I can double check on that and get back to you.
All right, Mr. Chowdhury, you go, and that's that book.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
I have a question. Today, our president signed the Act, Defense Production Act. He has signed. So will it affect for people who have second vaccine appointments? Will that be kept, or that will be rescheduled?
So anybody who has set up a second dose appointment, those appointments are being kept. We do expect that with the Defense Production Act, there's a lag time between, you know, signing it today and maybe a month from now. We'll see the effects of what is going to come of that. So we're still working with the expectation that the amount of dosages that we get every week is going to continue. So we'll be able to keep vaccinating, but we really just want to expand that capacity so we can, you know, do that like 300,000 vaccinations every week. So we expect to see the effects of that within a month or so.
All right, so you have some questions in the chat.
Okay.
Can you put the phone number in the, so that we have that phone number she gave?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We'll put you, yes.
And Jessica, this is Kevin, the secretary. Could you also put the website into the chat as well for our members? Thank you.
Yep.
All right, so thank you so much, Jessica. Jessica has been a wonderful resource to Queens Community Board number 3, and we truly appreciate you. All right, Marta Lebreton. So we'll start with our public hearings. We have 2 public hearings. One is Parks and Recreation, followed by Business Echo. Ms. Marta Lebreton, our Parks and Cultural Affairs Chair.
Yes, tonight, thank you, Renetta. Tonight we have a presentation regarding the New York City Soccer Initiative. It's at Louis C. Moser Playground. Irfan Ahmed will give the presentation. Let me just let all board members know that the committee did meet in December to see this presentation, but we did not make a recommendation. So we will be seeking that in executive board. So if Mr. Irfan Ahmed is on, if he can give the presentation, and then we'll take questions afterwards.
And Irfan, do you need to show your screen?
Yes, so I can show the presentation, yes.
Okay, Kevin, his name is Irfan Ahmed. Do you see him, Kevin?
Yep, I just made him a presenter.
So you see a pop-up come up on your screen. Do you see that?
Oh, I think so, yeah, hold on. Nothing has popped up, I'm sorry. Oh, wait, yes. Okay.
It's a little slow, sorry.
No, it's all right. It's my first time using this. All right, let me see where this is. Great, there you go. You guys see it?
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So I'll get through this. I'll keep it under 3 minutes because I know you guys got a lot to do. So my name is Irfan Ahmed. I'm the lead of the New York City Soccer Initiative. We are a 5-year initiative to build 50 soccer fields throughout the city of New York. Luckily, we have entered the 5th and final year. We have constructed 37 fields in total. We've done 9 in Queens. We've got 3 more slated, including yours, hopefully tonight in Queens. So that means at the end of this year, with your support, we will have up to 12. This is a Mayoral Initiative. It is funded by myself. The organization I work for, which is the Mayor's Fund, the U.S. Soccer Foundation, the New York City Football Club, Adidas, and Etihad Airways. This is a $3 million initiative to build 50 soccer fields. We have a $600,000 maintenance fund. So if anything happens to the soccer pitch, we will use those funds to fix, repair, maintain, whatever is necessary to keep it in great shape for your kids and your community to use. Now, these are our city partners. We have Parks Department, we have NYCHA, we have DOE. All of this is built on public land. That means it is open to the community and to its people. With that said, this initiative would be pretty useless if we didn't have some program component. The program I'm showing you here is from one entity. It's the U.S. Soccer Foundation. It's Soccer for Success. They couldn't join us today, so I'll just speak to it very quickly. They offer 1 uniform and ball. There's 90 minutes of play, 3 days a week, 24 weeks per year. It is one of the free programs we offer, but it's not the only program. We also offer programming from our other partner up here, New York City Football Club, right up here. So you got the U.S. Soccer Foundation up here, And then you got also the New York City Football Club here. And I'll allow New York City Football Club. Paul, are you there? Can you just quickly speak to your program?
Yeah, thank you, Irfan. Good evening, everybody. So my name is Paul Jeffries. I'm the Executive Director of City and the Community Foundation, a non-profit supported by New York City Football Club. And we've been delivering free in-school and after-school programs across New York City, serving thousands of kids each year for over 10 years. We're in our 10th anniversary. And as Irfan said, we offer a number of free community-based soccer programs for boys and girls from as young as 5 up to 24. There is promoting health and nutrition education, but we also have launched a robotics program that teaches kids how to code and program robots and teach them how to play soccer. So it follows a STEM curriculum, but there's also a bunch of other community-based initiatives that we run, and I'd be happy to share that link to those programs in this chat. I know that we are likely tight for time, but I'd be happy to also answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. I'm going to keep us going. So why are we here? What happened at the committee meeting? So we work with the Parks Department. I'm hearing an echo, so I don't know if someone wants to mute, but we work with the Parks Department. And we have found a space called Louise Moser Playground. Now, the beautiful thing about this playground is that it is not going to get any more capital money because you recently redone it a couple years ago, but we found an empty space to bring our soccer pitch. An empty space. Most of the times in parks playgrounds, you often run into problems with a basketball court or a running track. Make it difficult to bring a pitch. But we found an empty spot in your yard. So not only do you have basketball, as you can see here, in these three areas, but you also have your softball or kickball. You can maintain that. And then in the empty space in the corner, you can have a soccer pitch. And again, it's a free contribution to your community. The challenge, though, is that there's no real school connected to it, which makes it easy for us to deliver the program. So that means we would love to work with the community board to figure out where you'd like us, who you'd like us to work with to serve the kids and the communities in the area. So if there's a shelter, a family shelter where you think our services could be helpful, where we can bring the kids out and enjoy the soccer pitch, we'd love to work with them. The point is a gift to the school and the community. This is the final year of the initiative. This is the fifth and final year. This is the last slot we have open for the initiative. I'm not making this a tight sales call. I'm being honest. We have a last slot. It's right here. If you don't want it, I understand. But at the same time, this is the last shot I got. And so we're hoping we can get your vote. What is the mini pitch made of? It's made of acrylic. So you can see the before and after right here. You got this is also in Queens, actually, Irvin Altman Middle School. You got before, it's a vacant spot. You see, it was a basketball court. We made it into a soccer pitch. But in your case, there is nothing that's going to be interrupted. It's all in an empty space of your yard. So you put an additional amenity to your playground for free with maintenance. And on top of that, it'll take, you give me 3 weeks, I'll get the job done. That's the key. It's made of acrylic. So that's what you find on a tennis court. It's not grass, it's not turf, it's acrylic. It's like a tennis court or a basketball court kind of material. So give me 3 weeks, we'll get the job done this spring or summer. But most importantly, we want your support, we want your backing. Councilman Constantinides is here, great, thank you. I also have a letter of support, but if the councilman would like to speak, please do so. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you. How do I end this? Sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe we have Donna Raymond who has a question regarding this. Donna, before you ask your question, is there a robotics program for the IFRAM?
Yes. So Paul Jeffrey just spoke to it. There's a free robotics program. He can give you all the details in an email. It is a free STEM program where they work with the kids to build robots that they program with soccer. It's actually pretty innovative. So for the sake of time,
Is that something that we could get?
Yes, that's the point. You get the pitch and you get the programming that go together.
Okay.
It's a package.
All right. Donna Raymond, if you have a question.
I think the councilman had a question. I'm sorry.
Wait, well, Donna's gonna, and Donna, can you please unmute yourself? Donna Raymond, are you here? Yes, go ahead, Donna. Or does she has to unmute herself again? Donna, can you unmute yourself? Donna Raymond? Is she unmuted, Kevin?
I can unmute her. She muted herself. She's not on. She has to unmute herself.
Okay, so Marta, can you go on to the next speaker and then?
Okay, so we have the council member who would like to speak. And then if any board members or anyone from the public wants to speak, if they could put it in the chat and we'll call on them.
Hey everyone, it's Costa. How are you? Happy New Year. I hope you're all doing well. I'll put on my camera so you can see me. I always find that to be a little bit better. So I just wanted to quickly speak on this initiative. Just to give you a frame of reference, we have it at another part of the district right now in Astoria, under the Triborough Bridge. And it has been nothing but a great experience. Kids go there to play. We haven't had any issues with loitering. We haven't had issues with drinking there. We haven't had any issues with any sort of trouble. What we have had is kids, playing soccer and enjoying the soccer pitch and playing with one another and enjoying each other's company and having an amazing time. Now, I don't play soccer. I didn't grow up playing soccer. As you saw before COVID, I was kind of a big guy, so I probably wasn't fast enough to play soccer. COVID slimmed me down, but I'm still not able to run yet. But I would say that this soccer pitch and the program that's gone along with it has really been a great thing for another part of the district. And that's why I wrote a letter of support, because honestly, Jackson Heights too often is left out. And I've been so proud to be your council member for the last, almost 8 years. And whether it's the renovations at Moser Park or one-room schoolhouse playground, or at Gorman Park, which I know is in design now, I've tried to bring resources to every park in our district. And this goes along with that. To say no to this initiative would be saying no to, a brand new space, a program space, a place that's structured where kids can play. So I would, I know that I've heard there may be some concerns about some of these issues. I would say that from other experiences, that's not what's happening. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. I wanted to wish you all a happy new year. I'm not here to talk a long time. I could go all day on COVID, on relief, on parks funding, on things happening in the district. I won't do that. I will hopefully come back in February to talk about all of those things. Now that I'm feeling well enough to do so, it's been a long haul with COVID, so I've been a little bit under the weather. But I look forward to speaking with you again soon. But I did want to let you guys know of our experiences in the district with this program and why I feel it's so important that we not lose this opportunity to have a program space and allow this to just kind of go by, because after this is over, it's over, and there won't be another opportunity. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Costa. I believe Ed Wesley had a question.
Yes, thank you, Marta. This is directed at the presenter. At this subcommittee meeting, we had asked you to reach out to the Jackson Heights Homeowners Association. Was that accomplished? And what kind of reaction did you get?
I don't recall that recommendation. What I do recall was that to reach out to the councilman. Those were the directives that I got. I don't remember reaching out to Jackson Heights Association, nor did anyone from the community board provide me their information or details. Happy to always reach out, but we need to know if this is a go, because this lot is the last one.
I'd like to ask a question.
Go ahead. Could you state your name, please, first?
Is it for me, Elba? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'd like to know where is the park being considered?
I thought I answered this, but I'll go through it one more time. It's happening in the corner part of Luis Moser Playground. So there's a corner part, empty, vacant spot where there's no amenity. We are adding this amenity. Nothing's being lost. You keep your softball, kickball, you keep your basketball, and in the empty part is where we're going to put the mini pitch. That's where it's going. It's only 120 by 60 feet.
Sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
Donna Raymond, can you type your question in the chat, or did you unmute yourself? I see Margaret Flanagan, did you have a question? Did you want to say something?
No question, thank you. I was just agreeing athletic programming is a good idea. Thank you.
Okay. Andrew Sokoloff? Okay, is there anybody else that has a question or would like to make a comment, either the public or any of the board members? Okay, we're gonna take this up in executive session then. Thank you, Renetta. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Marta.
You're welcome.
Edwin Rosenbaum, Business Economics Chair.
Good evening. Okay, there are 4 applicants on the agenda. The first applicant is Blue City Lounge Corp. 10711 Northern Boulevard in Jackson Heights. This is an application for a full liquor license. The committee has decided to table this application until next month. There's a little bit of an issue with the stipulation that we have to discuss. So we're going to take this up in February. So moving on to the second applicant, 104 Entertainment Corp. doing business as Wet, 3920 104th Street in Corona. This is an application for a full liquor license. Is the applicant present?
Hi, good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good evening.
Hi, Rosa Ruiz for the applicant. Unfortunately, he's not able to be here because he had to work tonight.
Okay. So just give us a brief presentation.
Okay. So this application was presented before the board last year, but due to financial reasons, the application was never filed with the Liquor Authority. And we're getting ready to file the application with the Liquor Authority now. But the same way it was presented before the board last year is the same way it's being filed now. So this is going to be operated as a sports bar, not adult entertainment. I'm losing the word right now. It's not a strip club.
So what is it?
I'm trying to find the right word. Give me 1 second.
Sorry, Edmund, can you let them know when their questions are available?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, can she turn on her camera so we see who we're talking to?
It was on. I'm sorry. Did it turn off?
Edmund,
That's Renetta.
Sorry about that. I apologize.
Anyone in the audience when questions
So
are.
it's employee dancing, exotic dancing.
Can you repeat that again?
It's employee dancing, exotic dancing.
Correct. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, it's the same thing that was presented last year.
Correct.
The hours of operation are from 5 p.m. till 4 a.m. The occupancy is less than 74.
Right. It was presented in December of 2019.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to ask for questions one at a time,
Okay.
please.
Can they type their name in the chat if they'd like to say something?
Type your name in the chat so I can acknowledge you for a question.
I've never done this before. Where's the chat?
No, the questions. I'm just waiting for the
okay.
members of the community to see if they have a question.
Okay.
Mark.
Yes. Hi, everyone. So I noticed, I know that the committee recommended or is recommending disapproval of this license, I believe because of effect that it might have on, neighboring institutions and businesses and things of that nature. So I was wondering if there's anything that would be going on outside of the doors, like on the sidewalk or anything
No,
like that.
no, everything is going to be contained inside of the premises, nothing going on outside of the premises.
Okay, so, and also I noticed that in the recommendation, it mentioned something about the library. But my understanding is that the hours you mentioned are outside of the library.
Yes, so the hours are outside of the library hours, and even the applicant has even stated that if the community wasn't comfortable with him opening at 5, that he will open even later.
Okay, thank you.
Tammy Rose? We can't hear you.
Sorry. Can you mentioned there was dancing, you said, and exotic dancing. I haven't heard that on an application before. Can you educate me as to exactly what that is?
It's cool. So employee dancing, exotic dancing is basically go-go dancers. So it's not a strip club. So they would still have, so they're basically, the employee dancing would be them in bikinis. And it would be operated as a restaurant bar.
Okay.
So are they currently doing that now as well?
No, they're not, because he didn't file the application. So the premises have been closed for over a year, most particularly due to COVID, and he wasn't able to open the establishment.
I saw Frank. Frank, do you have any questions?
No, Tammy asked the question I was going to answer.
Okay, Arthur?
Thank you.
And anyone else, please type your name in the chat if you have a question. I did see Arthur's hand. Arthur?
You calling me?
Yes.
All right. If it's not a strip club, then how are the dancers dressed?
So that's what I was trying to explain. So a strip club is when they take off the top and they keep on the bottom. So this would be more of a go-go where they keep on the tops and they keep on the bottom. So they're not stripping. It's a form of entertainment.
Okay,
so are they dressed like, so I still don't understand what kind of a top is it? How big is the top?
So it'll be a bikini top.
All right.
Iro?
Yes, I don't think that we need something like that in the neighborhood. Instead of be protecting the neighborhood for a better kind of life, we are introducing something that doesn't belong in the area.
I'm sorry, I really couldn't hear. What was that?
That instead of opening this club, giving the permission to get the license, I don't think that we need that kind of clubs in the area. It's a family area. It's a surrounded by all families. It's kids.
And I understand that. So it'll only be operated at night. And this premises and this, what?
Doesn't matter day or night. It's still the neighbor right there.
I
don't think that is the right place.
Okay,
and I understand your concern, but the premises have. This is what this premises has always been operated as. It's not new.
All right, Edmund, one more question, please.
Margaret Flanagan.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to ask if the owner might consider creating a college fund or job training for his employees, because I don't believe that exotic dancing is the kind of career
absolutely would.
that we want to see our young people be kept in.
No, he absolutely would.
Okay,
he's a family man and he has daughters of his own.
All right.
Okay,
Next
so
person,
we're going
please.
to take this up in executive session.
Okay.
Moving on to the next applicant, Vibra's
Thank
Restaurant
you.
Incorporated, 9101-205 Astoria Boulevard in East Elmhurst. This is an application for a full liquor license. I believe the applicant and his rep are present.
Yes, we're here.
Okay.
That's correct.
Presentation.
Sorry?
Okay, just give us a brief overview. Give us a presentation on
Sure.
your application and what you plan on doing.
Okay, so Vibra's Restaurant Group, it's a full-service restaurant located at 9101-9105 Astoria Boulevard East, Elmhurst, New York, 11369, and it's only a ground floor. The restaurant contains 21 tables, a total of 62 seats at said tables. There's also a customer bar with 10 seats, bringing the maximum capacity of patrons at 2072 at a time. But due to the current COVID regulations, there's no customer bars at the moment. According to the stipulations we signed and sent over notarized, the hours of operations are Monday through Wednesday, 1 p.m. to 2 a.m., Thursday, Friday, 1 p.m. to 4 a.m., Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 a.m., and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. We also agreed in the stipulation that alcohol service will end 1 hour prior to closing daily. The kitchen will be open, serving the full menu at all times, and the occupancy won't exceed 74 people until the public assembly permit is submitted. There are no on-premise establishments within 500 feet of the business, so there's no concern of saturation. There's no schools or churches within 200 feet of the restaurant. The business will have 1 to 2 security persons on premise after 5 p.m. The security person will be in charge of checking the temperature of all patrons, ensuring compliance with masks, and providing hand sanitizer. When there's 2 security persons, the other will be overseeing the dining area to ensure a respectful, neighborhood-friendly environment. The restaurant will have no live music or permit any type of dancing at any time. Mr. Christian Betancourt, the applicant, intends to be an active member of the community and will stay in contact with the community board and the local precinct to participate in meetings and events once they resume.
Okay. Anyone have questions? Please type your name in the chat.
Question.
Joyce?
I have a question.
Yes, Joyce.
Isn't that near the Kingdom Hall? The question is, isn't that operation near the Kingdom Hall? Can you
No,
hear me?
we're 91st Street and Astoria Boulevard, right in the corner, next to the pizzeria
I know,
there.
but
I think
yeah,
Kingdom
but
Hall on 93rd.
Kingdom Hall is not. I'm sorry.
I think that's on 93rd.
Okay, just asking.
All right. Anyone else? Type your name in the chat, please. It makes it easier for me. Any other questions? Just a point of information that I found out. It's a generalization from the Liquor Authority. It has no bearing on this applicant. It's just that it was previous licensee had a summary suspension, which was paid, and therefore this application will end up going before the full members of the board of the State Liquor Authority. That's how they're running procedure. Just wanted to put out that point of information that happens to be the procedure when there was a previous issue with a suspension. But that has no bearing on this applicant. I'm just saying it's going to have a full review. Lobsang has a question.
I think if I heard correctly, there's no music, no dance. You said like you have a security guard. What's the proposal? The reason behind having the security guard there?
The purpose of having security is just to, be safe, just to maintain order. And especially now with the COVID, we have to make sure everybody's taking the measures that we need in order to have everything, the way that it's supposed to. So it's always good to have more eyes on the floor, more eyes on the table, more eyes on the customers and the cars, people are parking on the street. We just want everyone to feel safe in a friendly restaurant, So basically that's what we're looking for.
Any other questions? I don't see any other names in the chat. So we'll take this up in executive session. Thank you. The final applicant, Saraeli Enterprises Corp., doing business as Evolution, 7619 Roosevelt Avenue, Jackson Heights. This is an application for a full liquor license. It's actually 2 licenses because there's 2 physical bars within the location. Is the applicant present? I saw them. There they are. Welcome.
We are. Yes, we are. Sorry. You hear us?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Hi, my name is Harian Hoxha. I was a client at Bard in 80 Valentine runs, and I decided, the first time I went to the bar is 2019, and I started working with 80 since July when he opens for COVID. And I'm buying an existing cabaret and keeping it as it is, as Eddie Valentine had it running for the last 21 years. So as the stipulation we signed, everything gonna be closed an hour early. We're gonna remove all the stuff from the floor. I will definitely work closely with the community board members and the police precinct then is in our area, especially if I come in from a family with all with several police officers. My brother is a police officer, my sister-in-law and uncles and everybody else. Me and Eddie gonna work closely with the Queen's Pride in all the events every year. Me and him is my idol, so we're gonna continue to maintaining all the graffiti, all the in the walls and in front and back and in the roof as we have it right now. We having the same stuff. Most of the stuff are gonna be the same. We definitely as for rules and regulation for SLA, we have a security company. We have a security company called True Blue, and it's owned by a retired detective. And some of the employees we have as security are retired police officers. I'm looking forward, to keep the place as Eddie ran it for a lot of time, and until everything gets approved, God willing, I'm still working for Eddie because I'm trying to make sure, we get everything done right. Thank you.
Okay, we already have some questions. Everyone else who has a question, type your name in the chat. Kevin?
Hi, Kevin Hughes-Noboa, Board Secretary. This is the location where Club Evolution was,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And so a long-time patron of the club. Is it going to remain an LGBTQ?
Yes. It's going to be a
Great.
mixed club.
Okay, terrific. Thank you.
Tammy?
I just wanted to say they're a neighbor. They're right here by us, and we're very thankful for their club. Actually, we've done a lot of community events there, and I actually have been there and also friends. So I thank you for the support you've given to us in the community, and I look forward to having you guys as neighbors for many more years.
Thank you.
Okay, see no other names in the chat. We'll take this up in executive session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Edmund. We'll open up our executive session. Kevin?
Okay, hold on 1 second.
And we open up our executive session with the Pledge of Allegiance, and Kevin's going to bring up the flag.
Just give me 1 second.
Take your time. In the meantime, members, please look at your folders for Edmund's report, for Marta's report from the Parks Committee. All right, I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the
republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
for all.
for all.
with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I call for a motion to adopt our January 21st, 2021 meeting agenda.
Yeah, I second it.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right,
Aye.
everyone.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Aye.
you,
Aye.
everyone. Thank you very much. Please put yourself on mute. Now we'll open up the meeting to our nominating chair, Ms. Vivian Dock. Oh, no, sorry, Ms. Dock. Before you begin, Mr. Hughes, can you, Mr. Hughes Naboa?
Yes, I'm going to do a second call for attendance. All right. Kamblata. Kam?
Tom was here earlier, but I guess he may have dropped off.
I think he's still here. I see him. He's there.
Tom, are
Okay,
you here? Announce yourself, please. Okay, that's fine.
I'll come back. Ann Brown.
Yes.
Alba Buendia.
Here.
Mark Burmester. Mark Burmester.
Here.
Thank you. Mr. Chowdhury.
Yes, I am.
Echo Corneliuson.
Yes.
Shiv Das.
Mr. Das dropped off.
Sonny Davis Roberts. Vivian Dock. Yeah, I see Vivian. Margaret Dossier.
Yes. Yes.
Renetta English.
Here.
Mr. Gandhi.
That dropped off.
Okay, Mr. Gideon.
Yes.
Esther Haran.
Here.
Lorinda Hooks.
I died at Gandhi.
Yeah.
Lorinda, are you still here with us?
I said yes.
Oh, sorry, didn't hear you. Mr. Hollader.
Yes.
Okay. Kevin Hughes Naboa, that's me, I'm here. Joyce Julian.
Here.
Edward Kiernan.
Why is that?
I'm here.
Edward, got it. Stephen Kohanek.
Here.
Marta Lebreton.
Here.
Carlos Andre Lopez. Lisa Masulam.
Here.
Ralph Moreno. Richard Mullings.
Here.
Liber Nimmons.
Here.
Veronica Ing.
Here.
Nuala Doherty.
Here.
Philip Pappas. Esteban Peralta. Ladisla Perez.
Yes.
Dorothy Phelan.
Here.
Megan Rockwell.
Here.
Fausto Rodriguez. Iro Rodriguez.
Yes.
Leoncio Romero.
Here.
Tammy Rose.
Here.
Edmund Rosenbaum.
Here.
David Rosero.
Yes.
Lobsang Salaka.
Yes.
Gotcha. Jimmy Smith. Arlene Tapper.
Here.
Frank Taylor.
Present.
Arthur Tyler. Arthur? I see you, Arthur. Chanel Thomas Henry.
Here. Here.
Gotcha. Chanel Thomas Henry.
I'm here.
Thank you. Pat Thorpe. Hamlet Wallace.
Here.
Washington Simon.
Here.
Edwin Wesley.
Here.
And one last shout out for Com. I'm gonna see if I can unmute him.
Yes,
No,
I am here, sir.
Gotcha. Perfect. All right. I'm gonna send this off.
I'm here too, Elvis Salamanca.
Thank you all.
All right, Vivian, you have to unmute yourself. Go ahead, Vivian.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. First, I want to acknowledge and thank members of the nominating committee, Pastor Peter Herron, Edward Kiernan, Marta Lebreton, Veronica Name, Philip Pappas, David Rosario, and Toy Washington. The offices of the board shall be chairperson, first vice chair, second vice chair, secretary, treasurer, and 4 members at large. The committee met virtual December 10th, 2020. All candidates were called and accepted their nomination for office. The slate of nominees for office was presented at the last virtual board meeting, December 17th. The names of these nominees are printed on your ballot next to the office they were nominated for. And they are Chairperson Renetta English, First Vice Chair Edward Rosenbaum, Second Vice Chair Dr. Laverne Nimmons, Secretary Kevin Hughes, Novia, Treasurer Leoncio Romero, Members at Large Megan Rockwell, Jairo Rodriguez, Lobsang Salaka, and Frank Taylor. Officers are elected for a 1-year term. No officer elected may serve more than 3 consecutive terms in the same office and shall not be eligible for re-election to the same office for a period of 2 years. The committee would like to acknowledge and thank Hamlet Wallace for having served 3 consecutive years in the same office as member at large. Any board member can be nominated from the floor for any office by a board member and second by another board member. If the person nominated accepts the nomination, the ballot will be updated to include that candidate that has been nominated. I will call for nominations from the floor 3 times for each office, beginning with the office of chairperson in descending order. After nominations are closed for all offices, mark your ballot next to the nominee of your choice. Due to the COVID-19 virus, this will be the first year that the board will be voting for offices virtual and electronically. Thanks to volunteers, Danielle and Darwin, who will assist with the technical part of the election. We held our first virtual practice session last night at 7 o'clock. Committee member volunteered to do another one today at 5 p.m., and that's Toy Washington. Thanks, Toy. After my report, I will call on Toy to speak. The floor is now open for nominations. Are there any nominations for chairperson? Going once, twice, 3 times. Nominations for first vice chair? Once, twice, 3 times. Second vice chair? Once, twice, 3 times. Secretary? Once, twice, 3 times. Treasurer? Once, twice, 3 times. Members at large? Once, twice, 3 times. All right, hearing no nominations, the nominations are closed. So we can begin the process of voting, but I will now ask Toy Washington to speak on the election process. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Dodd. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. So I'm here just to share some quick tips for successful electronic voting. This information is intended for board members. So in a few minutes, you will receive an email from queenscb3election@gmail.com with the subject line CB3 election ballot with today's date. Once you receive this email, we ask that you do the following. First, open the email, and then you're going to double click on the hyperlink in bullet 1. For those of you who aren't aware, a hyperlink is going to be in blue, text is underline, and all you'll need to do is double click on that link. Once you do that, a new page is going to appear, and that's your ballot. So we ask that you please complete all information, which includes your first name, last name, and then you're going to actually cast those votes. So once you submit your ballot, you're actually going to receive a message confirming receipt. Now, if you don't receive a confirmation, we ask that you contact technical support, and I'm going to share that phone number with you in a minute, but it is also going to be listed at the bottom of the email that you received. Now, that's all you have to do. There's nothing else. So once you actually make your selections and hit the submit button, you can actually close your page. And what's really important to remember is that you only have to submit once. So it's extremely important that we receive your ballot during the time that's been allotted so that it is counted, because as we know, every vote counts. And election results will be shared at the end of this meeting. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to give you the telephone number for technical assistance if you need it. So if you're ready, you can write this number down, but again, it's actually going to be in the email that you received. In that email, Doran, if you can hear me, you can go ahead and send the email now. But the telephone number is area code 530-451-6322. And you can either call or text, but what we do ask is that you just be mindful of his time. It's just one person, and if multiple people are having difficulties, he may not be able to respond as quickly as normally. So again, that number is 530-451-6322. And again, you should be receiving that email shortly. So right
Hello?
now, yes.
Oh yeah, I just sent you guys the email. In your email, you'll be able to find the instructions on how to fill out the survey. If for any reason you have questions, my number is in there as you just said. So you can call me, text me, anything, and I will help you out with that. So just on the email, it says, it has the link. You can do it yourself. You can try. If you don't know or can't fill it out for some reason, if you need any help, find my phone number on there. You can text me, call me, and I'll help you out.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that, Darwin. So I actually just checked, and I do have the email. So I encourage
Okay, I just sent it out, yeah.
Yep. So all board members, if you are not a board member, you will not have this email. So I know we have other who are not board members, so don't worry about checking your email. And please don't contact Darwin, because if you're not a CB3 board member, you won't receive it. So at this point, everyone should go ahead and proceed with checking their email, and hopefully everyone has a ballot.
All right, thank you so much, Toy. So while you're voting, everyone, we will proceed with the meeting, but and we will bring up our two chairs. Remember, we have two items to vote on. So Kevin, are you ready? Parks Chair, Martha Leberton, can you
Yes,
speak?
I'm ready. Okay, in the report that I submitted that's in your folders, we did hear this presentation at a committee meeting. One of the questions that Giovanna asked me to find out about is how long this park would be in place. It would be 8 years, or it could be indefinitely. After the time period, it is up to the community board and the parks department as to what can be done with the site. So the committee did not make a recommendation. So tonight I'm asking, after we have a discussion, for a motion to either support the project or a motion to disapprove the project. And
Okay,
that's where we are.
so this is Lab Singh, and I think the soccer project is really good for the neighborhood, and I motion to approve the project.
I second that.
And who seconded that?
Tammy?
Okay, thank you, Tammy. Is there any discussion on this? Because if there's no discussion, we will have Kevin take the vote for a letter of support for this initiative. Okay, Kevin.
All righty. This is for the NYC Soccer Initiative at Lewis C. Moser Playground, presented by Ethan Ahmed as part of the Parks and Recreation Committee, chaired by Marta Lebreton. After our discussion just now, we have recommended approval to send a letter of support. Kamblata.
Yes, sir, we need to do it.
Okay, Ann Brown.
Yes.
Elba Buendia.
Yes.
Mark Burmester.
Yes.
Mr. Chowdhury.
Yes.
Heiko Corneliuson. Heiko? All right.
Yes.
Oh, great. Thank you, Heiko. Vivian Dock. Oh, let me unmute Vivian.
What are you watching?
Vivian?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, wheel. Oh.
Brian, can you please put yourself on mute?
Margaret Tossier.
Yes.
Renetta English.
Yes.
Mr. Gideon.
Yes.
Pastor Peter Haran.
Yes.
Lorinda Hooks.
Yes.
Mr. Hollader. Mr. Hollader.
Yes.
Kevin Hughes Noboa. I am a yes. Joyce Julian.
Yes.
Edward Kiernan.
Yes.
Stephen Kohlhenik.
Yes.
Marta Lebreton.
Yes.
Lisa Masulam.
Yes.
Richard Mullings.
Yes.
Laverne Nimmons.
Yes. And I have completed my vote.
Laverne, okay, thank you, Laverne. Veronica Ing.
Yes.
Thank you. Nuala Doherty.
Yes.
Ladisla Perez.
Yes.
Dorothy Phelan.
Yes.
Megan Rockwell.
Yes.
Jairo Rodriguez.
Yes.
Leoncio Romero.
Yes.
Tammy Rose.
Yes.
Edmund Rosenbaum.
Yes.
David Rosero. David, you got to unmute yourself. David, I see you there. You got to unmute yourself.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
You're a yes or a no?
Yes.
Thank you. Lobsang Salaka.
Hey,
I can hear you. What was your vote?
I said yes.
Thank you. Marlene Tapper.
Yes.
Thank you. Frank Taylor.
Oh. Yes, yes, for the kids, yes.
Arthur Tyler.
Yes.
Chanel Thomas Henry.
Yes.
Hamlet Wallace.
Yes.
Troy Washington Simon.
Yes.
Edwin Wesley.
In support of Costa's testimony, I vote yes.
All right, that is 39 yeas. The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, everybody. A letter of support will go out to the initiative, letting them know that we're going to move forward with this. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Marta, for your hard work. Edmund?
Good evening again. Okay, we'll be skipping the first applicant, moving on to number 2 on your report. 104 Entertainment Corp., doing business as Wet, 3920 104th Street in Corona. This is an application for a full liquor license. Motion by committee is the committee recommends disapproval of an application for an on-premises full liquor license for this applicant due to proximity to residential portion of the mixed-use zone, proximity to churches and the Corona Library, creating a significant impact on the quality of life within the immediate area. Do we have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Please type your name in the chat. I'll give you 30 seconds. Okay, seeing no discussion, we can call the question.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
hold on. All right, this is for SLA motion 104 Entertainment Corp. doing business as Wet, located at 3920 104th Street in Corona for a full liquor license. The committee recommends disapproval. So a yes vote is in support of a disapproval. All right, a no vote is in support of an approval. All right, so a yes vote to disapprove. Okay. All right, Kamblata.
Bishop Rubesh.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yes.
Thank you. Ann Brown.
Yes.
Alba Buendia.
Yes.
Mark Burmester.
No.
Mr. Chowdhury.
Yes.
Michael Corneliuson.
Yes.
Vivian, oh, let me unlock Vivian. Vivian Dock. Vivian?
Come back to her.
Okay, all right. Okay, Margaret Dossier.
Yes.
All right, Renetta English.
Yes.
All right, Vivian's back at her computer. Vivian, what is your vote?
Yes. Yes.
All right, thank you. Back on mute. Okay, we're now Mr. Gideon.
Yes.
Pastor Peter Haran.
Yes.
Lorinda Hooks.
Yes.
Mr. Hollader.
Yes, sir.
Haven't used a bow. That's me. I'm a yes. Joyce Julian.
Yes.
Edward Kiernan.
Yes.
Stephen Kohenik.
Yes.
Marta Leberton. Marta. All right. I'll come back to her. Lisa Masulam.
Yes.
Richard Mullings.
Yes.
Laura Nimmons.
Yes.
Veronica Ing.
Yes.
Veronica.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Nuala Doherty.
No.
Ladisla Perez.
No.
Dorothy Phelan.
Yes.
Megan Rockwell.
No.
Ira Rodriguez.
Yes.
Leoncio Romero.
Yes.
Tammy Rose.
No.
Edmund Rosenbaum.
Yes.
David Rosero.
Yes.
Lobsang Salaka.
Yes.
Thank you. Marlene Tapper.
No.
Frank Taylor.
Yes.
Arthur Tyler. Arthur.
Oh, yes, to disapprove the application. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Chanel Thomas Henry.
Yes.
Hamlet Wallace.
Yes.
Toy Washington Simon.
Yes.
Edwin Wesley,
Yes.
and I'll come back. Marta Leverton.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, 32 yays, 6 nays. The motion carries to disapprove the application.
Thank you. Next applicant is Vibra's Restaurant Group Incorporated, 9101-205 Astoria Boulevard in East Elmhurst. Application for a full liquor license. Motion by committee. The committee recommends approval of an application for on-premises full liquor license for this applicant, provided a stipulation has been signed, which it has, stating the hours of operation will be Monday to Wednesday, 1 to 2, Thursday and Friday, 1 to 4, Saturday, 11 to 4, Sunday, 11 to 2. One security guard present from 5 to 2, Monday to Wednesday. 2 licensed security guards present from 5 to 4, Thursday through Saturday. And 2 licensed security guards present from 5 to 2 on Sunday. Alcohol service ending 1 hour prior to closing daily. Kitchen open at all times, serving a full menu. And the occupancy will not exceed 74 people until a public assembly permit is obtained to allow for 190 people. Do we have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? I'll give you 30 seconds to type your name in the chat. Okay, seeing no discussion, we'll call the question.
All right, this is for an SLA motion for Vibras Restaurant Group, Inc., located at 9101/05 Astoria Boulevard, East Elmhurst, for a full liquor license. The committee recommends approval, so a yes vote is to approve. Tom Blata,
Yes.
Ann Brown,
Yes.
Elba Buendia,
Yes.
Mark Burmester,
Yes.
Mr. Chowdhury,
No.
Michael Corneliuson,
Yes.
Vivian Dock. Vivian?
Yes.
Okay, Margaret Dossier,
Yes.
Renetta English. Renetta,
Yes.
thank you. Mr. Gideon,
Yes.
Pastor Peter Haran,
No.
Lorinda Hooks,
Yes.
Mr. Hollader,
No.
Kevin Naboa, I am a yes. Joyce Julian. Is Joyce still with us?
No.
Okay, you're a no? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Edward Kiernan,
Yes.
Stephen Kolenik,
Yes.
Marta Leverton,
No.
Lisa Masulam,
Yes.
Richard Mullings,
No.
Laverne Nimmons,
Yes.
Veronica Ing,
Yes.
Nuala Doherty,
Yes.
Ladisla Perez,
Yes.
Dorothy Phelan,
Yes. Yes.
Megan Rockwell,
Yes.
Jairo Rodriguez,
Yes.
Leoncio Romero,
Yes.
Tammy Rose,
Yes.
Edmund Rosenbaum,
Yes.
David Rosero,
Yes.
Lobsang Salaka,
Yeah. Yes.
Marlene Tapper, Marlene, Frank Taylor.
Yes.
Marlene, I see you just pop back on. What's your vote? You have to unmute.
I'm sorry. Yes,
It's
I got
okay.
embarrassed because I'm in bed and my parents came out. So
It's okay. It's okay. So your vote was a yes. All right. Arthur Tyler,
Yes.
Chanel Thomas Henry,
yes,
Hamlet Wallace,
Yes.
Troy Washington Simon,
Yes.
Edwin Wesley.
No.
All right. 32 yays, 7 nays. The motion carries to approve the application.
Okay, thank you. Last applicant, Sarah Enterprises Corp., doing business as Evolution, 7619 Roosevelt Avenue in Jackson Heights, application for a full liquor license. Motion by committee. Committee recommends approval of an application for an on-premises full liquor license for this applicant, provided that stipulated, which it has, stating the hours of operation will be 2 to 4 daily. There will be licensed security present at all times, alcohol service will end 1 hour prior to closing on a daily basis. Occupancy will not exceed 74 people until the public assembly is obtained to allow for 160 people. And the premise must be adequately soundproof to mitigate noise from the emanating to the residential area. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
Give you 30 seconds, type your name in the chat for discussion. Mark had a comment before. Do you still want to make a comment?
Sure, thanks. The only comment I wanted to make is that Eddie, through Friends Tavern, has been allowing the Love Wins Food Pantry to operate for free out of the empty space next to Friends Tavern, which is a huge benefit to the community. And if the applicant's mentor is Eddie, that bodes well for all of us.
Thank you so much. That's appreciated.
Martha?
Yes.
Arthur?
I just think staying open till 4, 7 days a week is too much.
Okay. Anyone else? Oh, seeing none, we'll call the Tammy.
I just want to counter that. I don't think it's too much as a neighbor who's right here. I think we have to support our local businesses, try to keep them open any way we can, and their hours of operation don't hinder those that live by them at all.
Okay. Thank you. We'll call the question now.
Okay, this is for SLA motion for Sarelli Enterprises Corp. doing business as Evolution, located at 7619 Roosevelt Avenue, Jackson Heights, for a full liquor license. The committee recommends approval, so a yes vote is to approve. Tom Blata,
Yes.
Ann Brown,
yes,
Alba Buendia,
yes,
Mark Burmester,
Yes.
Mr. Chowdhury,
No.
Michael Corneliuson.
Yes.
Thank you. Vivian Dock, let me unmute you, Vivian. Hold on. All right, Vivian.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. All right, Margaret Dossier,
yes,
Renetta English,
Yes.
Mr. Gideon,
Yes.
Pastor Peter Haran,
No.
Lorinda Hooks,
Yes.
Mr. Hollider,
No.
Kevin Yusnaboa, I am a yes. Joyce Julian,
Yes.
Edward Kiernan,
Yes.
Stephen Koenig,
Yes.
Marta Leberton,
no,
Lisa Masulam,
yes,
Richard Mullings,
No.
Laverne Nimmons,
yes,
Veronica Ing,
Yes.
Nuala Doherty,
yes,
Ladisla Perez, Ladisla? All right, I'll come back to you. Dorothy Phelan,
Yes.
Megan Rockwell,
Yes.
Jairo Rodriguez,
Yes.
Leoncio Romero,
Yes.
Tammy Rose,
Yes.
Edmund Rosenbaum,
Yes.
David Rosero,
Yes.
Lobsang Salaka,
No.
Marlene Tapper,
Yes.
Frank Taylor,
Yes.
Arthur Tyler,
No, please don't approve.
Chanel Thomas Henry,
Yes.
Hamlet Wallace,
Yes.
Toy Washington Simon,
Yes.
Edwin Wesley,
These owners have been good to Jackson Heights. I vote yes.
All right, I'll come back to Ladisla Perez. Ladisla, are you back with us? Okay. All right. We are at 31 yeas, 7 nays. The motion carries to approve the application.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Is that the last one, Edmund?
That is all. Yes.
All right, thank you, everyone. So I'll just go through my view from the chair. We began the new year grateful that we made it to 2021, despite the trauma of COVID-19, the destruction of our community refrigerator, and the disgraceful insurrection that occurred in our nation's capital. Our community remains resilient. We will recover from COVID-19, and the community refrigerator, with all of your wonderful donations, was restored. And finally, we welcome the new federal administration on January 20th, and we look forward to the progress ahead. This month, we acknowledge the sacrifices and achievements of our civil rights leader, Dr. Martin Luther King. One important quote from him that we must remember: our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. I thank you, board members, for being vocal and committed to the community, and all you've done to attend our various committee meetings, and all you do in your personal lives to support the communities of East Elmhurst, Jackson Heights, and North Corona. So again, I encourage you all to attend our committee meetings, because this is really important for us to share ideas and for you to express any concerns. So this month we had a variety of meetings. I thank our chairs, the Business Echo Chair, Land Use, Health and Social Services. As you heard at our last meeting, there's a local COVID-19 shelter that's across the street from Dory Miller. Thank you to the Nominating Committee. This is the very first year in community board history that we're doing a virtual election. And from what I can see, it's gone pretty smoothly. I guess we'll hear from our chair soon enough. Thank you again to our Technology Advisory Committee. They are always there to send out information about not only our board activities, but our local organizations and our local elected officials. Again, as you heard early in our meeting, the COVID-19 numbers are up. I put a link there in the view from the chair, the vaccine data tracker. So I encourage you all to continue to protect yourselves. There was a meeting, Ann Brown, are you still on? I think she dropped off. Let's see. Ann? All right. So there was a recent meeting held by the FAA and where they wanted community input in regard to the LGA EIS environmental impact study. I hope some of you were able to join the meeting. Our local elected officials had town halls, from our councilman to our congresswoman and our senator. And I know that our chair, Recruitment, is on. DOT had sent out a survey. Please fill out the survey about 34th Avenue. And I know that we heard some things in the office in regards to loading zones in Jackson Heights. So please, if you have any concerns, please email the community board office, and Ms. Reed will give her contact information soon. So again, Happy New Year. This month is a Human Trafficking Awareness Month, Martin Luther King Day, Mankar Sankranti, it's a harvest festival in India, and Holocaust Remembrance Day. Again, thank you all board members for all of your support. Ms. Reed?
Yes, Ms. English, I'd like to defer my comments until the end of the meeting. Thank you.
All right. Technology Advisory Committee. Oh, sorry. I'd like to call for adoption of our December 17, 2020 minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Kevin Hughes, Technology Advisory Chair.
All right, I'll be brief. So the Technology Social Media Website Advisory Committee met this past week to discuss a number of agenda items. One is our website redesign. So stay tuned because hopefully in, I don't know, the next few months, maybe a little longer, not sure exactly on the timing just yet, but our new website redesign is coming along swimmingly and we will be hopefully launching something soon. So stay tuned for more on that. As you know, well, as some of you know, we've had some problems in the past with our with virtual meetings regarding being bombed, and so we've been looking into different strategies to avoid that. And I think we've come up with a good strategy because we did not get bombed tonight. So we'll continue to see how that goes as we move forward. I will be preparing over the next couple of weeks another web analytics report. I did one about 2 years ago, so I'm going to do another one where I'm going to show the I guess you'd call it the web footprint, our web footprint in terms of how many people we're reaching and how our online audience has grown over the last 2 years. That'll be an analysis of not only our website, but our social media channels, our Twitter, our Facebook, our Instagram, and as well as our YouTube channel. And while on that topic, I would just like to stress how important it is for not only board members, but residents, as well as our elected officials and their liaisons, and our businesses and residents and everybody that is involved or has an interest in Community Board 3 to follow us on one or all of our social media channels. It is, I will put the links to all of them in the chat as soon as I'm done here. But if you could follow us, it would be great. And our Twitter is nearing 1,000 followers. I think we're only about 35 people away from hitting 1,000 followers. So if you have not followed us on Twitter yet, follow us. If you don't have a Twitter account, create a Twitter account and follow us. It's a great way to keep in touch with the board, as well as follows our Facebook and our Instagram. And I'd just like to take a quick moment to thank the other managers that work with me on the social media and the website. Edmund Rosenbaum, who handles our website, Toy Washington Simon, who handles our Instagram, and Philip Pappas, who handles our Facebook. And as you know, I handle the Twitter. In addition, next month when I submit our report for web analytics, I will also be including a list of an updated social media policy regarding, how the board handles social media, as well as in regard to board members using social media for personal use, just some guidelines to follow. We submitted this probably about 2 years ago, and we're just going to send an updated one for our newer members, as well as a refresher for our more seasoned members. So with that, I will hand it back to Ms. Renetta. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kevin. So now we'll go on to our Borough President's report. Lisa? Lisa Atkins? Lisa, are you here? I guess not. Is anyone else here to represent the Borough President?
Hi, hello?
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me? Sorry, I don't know why my camera is not going on. Hi, my name is Max. Is it on?
Yes, Max. How you doing?
Oh, perfect. Now we see. Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me. Hi, Miss English. Thank you so much for having me. I am from the Queens Borough President's Office. My name is Max Weprin. I will be the new Constituent Liaison for Community Board 3, and I'm really looking forward. I know I won't be able to fill Lisa Atkins' shoes, but I will definitely try my best. At the end of this, I will leave my email in the chat, and I'm really looking forward to working with all of you guys. Really am. And also, firstly, I just wanted to thank you all on behalf of Borough President Richards. Thank you so much for your service. Also, I wanted to let you guys know we have new community board applications up on our website, and new applicants are very much encouraged. Also, renewal board members will be receiving notices. And also, we have a ranked choice voting workshop on Tuesday, January 26th. It should be very good, and everybody could RSVP on our website, and you can also watch it live at 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday on our website. So I just wanted to say thank you so much again, and I'm really looking forward to working with you guys, okay? And it's going to be a good time. Thank you guys so much, all right?
Thank you so much, Max. Welcome.
Thank you.
Michelle Hernandez.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, members and leadership of Community Board 3. Happy New Year. My name is Michelle Hernandez, and I'm with the Office of Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. Our office had its first town hall of Congressmember Ocasio-Cortez's now second term, which took place last week. The town hall was on the attack on the Capitol. If you didn't have an opportunity to join us, you can watch the town hall on our YouTube page. I will share a link in the chat box. And on that note, on the morning of January 7th, Congress certified the results of the 2020 presidential election. And despite the violent disruption and threat to our democratic institutions that we watched in horror, it was certified. And we're thankful for the safety of lawmakers and colleagues in DC. And we appreciate the concerns for those who reached out to our office. The Congresswoman voted to impeach Donald Trump last week and supports Representative Cori Bush's resolution to censor the members of Congress who helped initiate the violence. Yesterday, of course, we saw the peaceful transition of power, and the Congresswoman has congratulated our new President Joe Biden and our new Vice President Kamala Harris. For community updates, our office continues to assist with federal casework, and so on that note, we actually are looking to host a Wounded Warrior Fellow. This is a fellowship program that will fund a veteran for a 2-year period within our team. And the position pays for $52,000 a year with benefits and will be based in our local district office in the Queens and the Bronx. So if you know someone who might be interested, I will share the link to that as well. So again, if you know someone that's interested, 2 other related points. The application for PPP loans are now open, so small businesses should speak to their loan providers to determine eligibility. And there is a small business development center at LaGuardia Community College that will be able to assist with the small business PPP and EIDL applications. I will share information in the link box around that as well. And last month, we announced the winner of the Congressional App Challenge for our district, which was high school student Michael Bativia. And I will share a link to their app. And the last thing that I will note is regarding the last stimulus check, and in particular the stimulus payment that some, if hopefully most of you already received. If you have not, I will be sharing another link in the chat box where you can go to the Get My Payment portal on the IRS website, and you can determine the status of your payment. If you have any issues with that, of course, reach out to myself, reach out to the office, and we will be able to further assist. And that's all for me. And just keep an eye out for the links that I'll be sharing in the chat box. Thank you.
So, okay, James, you have a minute.
Hi, everyone. It's James from the New York City Comptroller's Office. I have a few messages from our Comptroller, Scott Stringer. First is that we put out a bunch of recommendations on how to expedite the COVID-19 vaccine rollout across the city. We feel like it hasn't been as efficient as it could be. So we're making some recommendations to create standby lists of people who are not yet able to be vaccinated because they don't fit the criteria that's given to us by the state. But we should have an idea of who these people are, maybe start to create lists and do some better outreach, as well as make sure we have enough sites to administer the vaccine once we do get enough supply to actually give it out. And also, we just need more outreach in general, telling people what the facts are about the vaccine, when it's their turn to be able to get it, because we don't feel like the state has done such a great job in this area. We also just released the Fair Shot NYC plan. This is for our idea for vaccine equity. So this particular plan uh, is asking the city to release all demographic data in real time in terms of who has received the vaccine shots, with breakdowns by age, race, profession, and zip code, so we can see how equitably or not equitably the vaccine is being distributed. So we would also like some of the contact tracers that have been being employed by the city to switch over to doing vaccine access and outreach in communities where there's a low rate of people getting appointments. Especially, we would like them to work with the elderly or other high-risk groups. Um, the community spread seems less likely to be happening now based on recent data, at least in comparison to, say, March and April and May. So we think that it might make sense to have contract tracers shift in their job priorities.
Right.
And we also are asking the city to pay nonprofits some of the money that was initially told would be given to them. That's the indirect cost rate funding that was promised, that was then cut. We just sent a letter to the mayor asking that funding be restored, because a lot of nonprofits are really on the front lines, really helping out the city, and a lot of them are struggling to cover the costs of doing all the outreach that they've been doing. Last thing, we also have a plan for to get fair distribution of the Paycheck Protection Program. New York City businesses only received only 12%, I think, of businesses received money, whereas like in places like North Dakota, 24% of businesses received it. So we have a plan to have the city do more outreach to make sure that applications are being filed correctly. And yeah, thank you for the time. I'll put it in the
Thank you
chat.
so much. Sequoia?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm coming from Sequoia from Councilmember Francisco Moya's office. Last week, the council member, along with the competitors and Local 28, gave around 275 toys to students from local schools in our district for Three Kings Day. Additionally, we did participate in the Get Tested Tuesday, where we handed out hand sanitizer and PPE. Also, this past Monday, we did do, for Martin Luther King Day, the council member did give out masks and hand sanitizer outside of Trade Fair Supermarket on Astoria Boulevard. We do have a couple of COVID testing sites. The council member has several testing sites in our district. One last week was at First Baptist, which is located on 100-10 Astoria Boulevard. We also have another testing site that will be at Park of Americas, corner of 104th Street and 41st Avenue in our district. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at Councilmember Moya's office. I will put our information in the chat, and you guys have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much. Cuban?
Hi, it's Kevin here. Hi, good evening and Happy New Year, everybody. Just briefly, our office continue to work remotely. If you need any assistance or any question, you can feel free to reach us at the 718-803-6373 and leave us a message, or email us at drum@council.nyc.gov. We will get back to you as soon as possible. I'll put the contact in the chat, including mine as well. And also want to remind everyone that we continue to provide free legal services, which including housing and immigration. So if you need the service, give us a call or email us for appointment. And that's it. Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you. Mary?
Hi, good evening and Happy New Year. Mary Jabaida from Senator Jessica Ramos's office, New York State Senate District 13. On behalf of Senator Jessica Ramos, I'm really wishing you all a great beginning to year 2021. For our district, we have given a lot of toys for the Three Kings event, and Senator Ramos is holding a lot of virtual town halls in almost all the neighborhoods of our district. So we already had a couple of them, and tons of the town halls are coming. The upcoming the one that is coming soon is in Jackson Heights. It's gonna be on Monday, January 25, from 6 to 8 p.m. It's gonna be in English language, and the next one is Wednesday, January 27, also 6 to 8 p.m. The language is Spanish. So each of the town halls are either in Spanish language or in English. So there are gonna be more coming from the week of 25th to all the way to February for Astoria, East Elmhurst, Corona. So if you want to know more about a particular neighborhood, please email me to jobaida at nysenate.gov, which is JOBAIDA
And Mary,
nysenate.gov. Yeah?
Type it in the chat, Mary.
Yeah, sure. And also, I also want to inform you that we are still working remotely. So if you need any help or if you want to reach out, please call us at 718-205-3881. I wish you again a great Happy New Year. Thank you.
Did I miss anyone? All right, so we'll bring it back to Vivian Doc, nominating committee.
Renata.
Oh, Chanel, you want to say something? Sorry.
If you don't mind, real quick. And apologies if I missed it. I didn't hear. Is Lisa on?
No, Max Weprin talked for her.
Okay. Did he mention the grant for small businesses?
Well, just mention it one more time.
So, in partnership with the Queensborough President's Office and the Economic Development Corporation, there's it's either $15 million or $17 million of grants for small businesses. Small businesses can apply for up to $20,000. So the closest organization in our area is the Queens Chamber of Commerce. So I'm putting a link to more information about it in the chat.
All right, thank you so much. All right, nominating committee.
I'm here on behalf of Assemblymember Cruz.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yes, you did email. Sorry about that, Alexandra. Go ahead. And then Vivian and then Ms. Reed.
Okay, so it's great to see so many familiar faces. We've been hosting COVID testing out of the office in partnership with Test and Trace. Today was the second day of testing. Next week, we're going to be holding a third one, and we're hoping to continue this because the numbers have been steadily rising, and we want to make sure that everybody stays safe and is protected. You can come directly to our office on Thursday, 4140 Junction Boulevard. And then next Wednesday, we're going to be holding a town hall on the eviction moratorium. It's going to be a Know Your Rights workshop conducted by Lino Diaz of Queens Legal Services to help protect your rights as the eviction moratorium begins to end. We continue to take constituents both over the phone and in person, but I want to emphasize that it's by appointment only so that we can keep the numbers low within the office. You can call our office at 718-458-5367 to make an appointment. We've been assisting with IDNYC renewal, not new IDs, but just the renewals. Sign up for SNAP, HEAP, and other public benefits and resources to legal services. Lastly, you can follow us on social media and Catalina Cruz NY to find out about upcoming events. We'll be holding another town hall, which I won't tell you about now. You'll have to follow our social media to find out more about it. So have a great day, you guys.
Thank you and welcome. Vivian?
Laid our office. I'd like to congratulate our officers for 2021. Chairperson, re-elected Renetta English. First Vice Chair, re-elected Edwin Rosenbaum. Second Vice Chair, re-elected Dr. Laverne Nimmons. Secretary, re-elected Kevin Hughes Novia. Treasurer, re-elected Leoncio Romero. Members at large, newly elected Megan Rockwell. Re-elected Jairo Rodriguez. Re-elected Lobsang Salaka. And re-elected Frank Taylor. Congratulations again to all of you. Wish you the best.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Ms. Reed?
Yes, thank you. First of all, I'd like to wish everyone a belated, happy and healthy new year. And I also would like to extend my congratulations to our re-elected officers. This team has worked very hard, and I'm looking forward to working with you all this year. Just in general, I also want to thank Ms. Dock and the nominating committee for the outstanding work that they've done. This is the first time that we've had an electronic election. I won't say that it went off without a hitch, but we did extremely well. So I want to congratulate all the members of the board for participating in this process. Again, I look forward to working with you all, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Reed, and thank you all to the staff at the office for all your hard work working remotely. And I know Ms. Reed comes into the office also. So again, everyone, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been a pleasure serving as your chair. If you have any questions or concerns, remember you can always reach out to me. So I call for a motion to end our meeting at 9:39 p.m.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Wait, no, Hudson.
Aye.
Please be careful out there. Wear your PPE. Please be careful. Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.
Night. Good night, everyone. Good night. Congratulations. all.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good night.
Congratulations to everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you for the peaceful transfer of power.
Lobster. Thank you.
This party.
Your trip.
Will J-Lo be performing?
Sorry?
Will J-Lo be performing at the inauguration?
No, I don't have that type of cash for her. No.
Lady Gaga.
All right.
She did a wonderful job. I loved her.
Upton is a newly elected. Hey.
Love song.
Chowdhury.